Restaurant Punk.
Lena, you got to chime in with something.
Hi. I feel like I have probably said Lena's name in at least 4 to 6 episodes. So it felt only right to eventually have her on the show.
No, it's a true honor.
Thank you. I feel like it is. Big deal for me.
I think you're very excited. Do you even know what we're going to talk about?
I have no idea. Absolutely none.
Great.
Total surprise.
Yeah, that's also another element is we don't like to talk about topics before jumping into it. So we're used to this. I know that you can just dive right in.
All right. I just want to throw this out right off the bat because I kind of have it in my mind. I feel like I've noticed this a lot in recent years. Is hospitality a lost art? Are servers as courteous to you as they should be? Or walking into a store, are they as, polite? I feel like I walk into a lot of places like, can I help you? And they're very like blunt and to the point. There's no more, hi, welcome to the place. How you doing today? I feel like it's like becoming a lost art little by little. How do you feel about that?
I could agree. Yes. I feel like,
I feel like you don't want to agree. You're just, know.
I don't know if this is like childhood trauma. But like, I didn't really go out to eat that often as a kid. Okay. I was very much grown up in a house where we had family dinner every night. We didn't, half the time if we went out to go get breakfast, we went to Mrs. Brizzle's in Sea Isle after church every Sunday. Like that was it. We didn't really go out to eat. My family was like very much, we're cooking what we have in the house. Or like, can we stop at McDonald's? Yeah. We have food at the house. We never had food at the house.
Well, I feel like some places that I go to, I think I recently went up to pick up my brother from the airport and I was starving on the way. So I stopped at Burger King because I wanted to have a chicken sandwich. So I walk up to the counter and the person just looks at me and says, yes. And I'm like, well, hi, how are you today? Can I order some food, please? Like, what do you want? And I'm like, chicken sandwich, $7.82.
Yeah, not like, do you want anything else?
I'm like, come on, like work me a little bit. Like I'm being a customer at a place over here. And I'm just using that as an example because that was yesterday, but there's a lot of
Burger King.
I know, but still just in general, I'm just over the whole industry.
Also, let's preface this. Lena is 21 years old.
21.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
So 21, 28, 38.
You're not coming back.
But I feel like growing up, if we did go to McDonald's, hi, welcome to McDonald's. What can I get for you today? As opposed to now, hello.
Yeah, everything. I feel like everything's going down.
It definitely has changed. And I feel like even down to just like the order of business and service, like people definitely don't care as much, especially after pandemic. People are just like, well, you need a server anyway. So what good does it do if I'm outgoing or this or that? Yeah. I feel like there definitely has been a huge dynamic change in the way that things are done. And even down to quick service has become such a new thing in the restaurant industry.
Going into a place and having to touch a screen, pay, and just pick up from a window.
Oh, I hate that. I absolutely hate that.
You know what? I like to visit places because, the food, the atmosphere, and the hospitality. And I feel like from all those points, the hospitality part of everything is declining little by little in certain aspects of the industry. I can say when we go out to nice restaurants, the server's great. You go out and you spend, $30, $40, $50 a person to go out and eat. Yeah, the server is going to kiss your ass and work the table as they should. But I'm looking at other industries, maybe quick service, fast food, even convenience places that are, I don't know. I feel like it's just becoming lost. And I feel like I'm a number going in there. I don't have that need to go in. Wawa is great. The people at Wawa, maybe because I go in every day and they love me.
Because you spend so much money there.
I love you guys. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's becoming a lost art. That's all. And it's kind of sad to see it. Like,
I feel like it can be a lost art, but I'll take it to the other end where everything is so heavily reliant on instant gratification.
Yeah.
It's like you're looking at your phone, you're ordering what you want immediately. You're going on Amazon, you're getting something quickly. Like it's not that I want to go somewhere and touch a screen. I want an experience as well.
Right.
But you have people that are so used to doing that all day. People that sit on a computer all day. They don't want that.
And you know what? These are the people, let's say the teens now that are growing up with this and they're becoming 18, 21. And I feel like without having those interactions on a daily or weekly or whatever basis, we're losing an aspect of life in general, of just interactions and whatnot and common courtesies. And, if they don't see this going on, they're not going to fill that gap going forward.
There's a little bit. See, I feel like I'm having a conversation with my dad in the best way possible.
Oh, you're definitely not coming back here.
Easy.
It's just like, I feel like I get this all the time. It's like well, your generation's bad. And I mean, did you hear it from your dad? Your generation sucks. I hate your music. I hate the way you dress. I hate all this.
No, my dad was all about everything.
Really? Maybe it's just
he was excited.
No, my dad very much was just like, oh, your generation, and mainly with music, 'cause my dad is a musician, but and working hard. Like, I grew up in a house where my dad was gone for 12 to 14 hours a day, and still would come home and still would make dinner and still would clean up after dinner. Mm-hmm. Like, that was very much, it was a completely different thing. And like you were saying with quick service and the instant gratification, now, we get home and we're like, oh, let's just order something real quick. We were just putting together an order for all of us to get to-go food, just to make it simple. And I texted my girlfriend. I said, what do you want? She goes, oh, if we're getting takeout, I don't want it. I'm trying to save money. I'm like, but takeout's cheaper than it is to go sit down at a restaurant. She's like, yeah, but I'm paying almost the same for no experience.
Well, let me ask you, if I went to Burger King and they were like, hey, welcome to Burger King. What can I get for you today? I don't know what I want. Well, you know what? Chicken just came out nice and fresh. I highly recommend that. I'm like, well, I'll get a chicken sandwich right now. Get those. You know what I mean? I don't know. Just some kind of interaction, some kind of whatever, because.
So counter question. Do you think that clientele has anything to do with the service change?
Oh, absolutely.
I think so, but at the same time, it shouldn't. You should treat everybody with the same, honestly, respect and courteousness as they come in. Don't assume.
But if people are coming in, and because I'll tell you what, and we've talked about it on other episodes of how the clientele, especially after COVID, I guess all of us as servers thought everybody was just going to be so happy and appreciative that they could be out and go get a meal and go to a restaurant after everything was closed down. And then when people came back out, it was like there was this whole different level of entitlement and feralness from people that they just thought they could say or do or act however they want and treat a server however they want. When I feel like I used to serve tables and people used to be so kind. Like, obviously you had your like every now and again person who is rude, but I feel like especially after this last summer, I've experienced things that out of all the years that I have served tables, I've never experienced before. And I can see how it can be kind of draining on someone. I'm not the kind of person that's just going to give in. Like, I will fight for you to like me. And
dish it right back.
Yeah, or I'll dish it right back. But there's some people who don't have that in them. And I feel like the clientele has definitely shifted a lot. Like how they treat people.
So you're saying the clientele, the shift in the wave of the clientele, that how they are, how they approach going out and whatnot, they are doing the impact to the hospitality of.
I'm just saying it could be a play in it. Like, I think that first of all, the world is just changing, like Lena said, due to instant gratification. People want instant gratification. People really they say that they want to come for the experience and this and this and that.
They don't want to wait for the experience.
But they don't want to wait for it. They don't want to sit around for it. They don't want to soak it all up. They're just like, I want this, I want that. This isn't this, this isn't that. Like, they harshly critique it instead of sit down and genuinely enjoy the fact that you can even be out right now.
Right.
Eating.
Just and being thankful for the simple things.
Oh, yeah, exactly. It's like that double-edged sword. You're going to have issues with the clientele, but also you're going to have issues with the hospitality. I mean,
yes.
I'm lacking the experience that you both have. But in the experience I have, when I'm a barista, I'm draining out drinks like instantly. I don't want people to sit there and wait for their morning coffee at 6 a.m. because they're going to be miserable.
But then at the same, that's different.
Exactly.
When you're I guess being a barista at 6 a.m., I don't want to talk to anybody at 6 a.m. I don't want to be up at 6 a.m. in general. But at the same time, I understand the quick service part of it as well. That doesn't mean you should be like, hey, or like, what do you want? As like the first thing.
And again, this comes back to another
training
episode or other episodes. Yes, training, but also hiring anybody with a pulse. Like, a lot of people are just so down and out for employees that they will literally hire anyone just to stay open.
Well, do you think being down
jeopardizing
here
their reputation
in Cape May County compared to being in Philadelphia, the lack of choices of who to get? I think Cape May, down here, South Jersey, Cape May, Sea Isle, Stone Harbor, Avalon, Wildwood, restaurant capital, I would say, of New Jersey with fine dining and whatnot, but we don't have the choice of luxury of employees, of cooks, of baristas, of servers, of whatever. Not like Philadelphia. I could fire somebody in Philadelphia and be like, put out an ad on Craigslist or something.
You can walk out to the curb and be like, does anybody need a job? And someone will come in.
Yeah, done. But we don't have that luxury down here. And I feel like that could be an impact, at least for our region.
For our area. Yeah. And that's huge. Like you could go to somewhere like fast food restaurant in the city, anywhere, and you might get better service there because again, like people have to appreciate that job because they know that they're very replaceable. Here, people don't feel like they're irreplaceable. So it's just like,
do you think their paycheck has an influence on their...
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And okay, so now if we're really going down a rabbit hole, and I'll keep it quick, but thinking about being in the service industry, you know, let's say 10, 15 years ago, that was doable to have a car, to pay for gas, to pay for rent, to do all these things on minimum wage plus whatever tips. Minimum wage here being a server is what, like $2 an hour?
If that?
I think it went up to like $3 or
$4 an hour. You know what I mean? But now look, try renting a place around here that's even going to be able to accommodate that in this kind of seasonal town. And there's other places. I mean, even if you are in a city to where people are still just trying to pay the bare minimum for long hours, and that's not even going to cover your rent. That's not going to cover your car payment. That's not going to cover your child support, your diapers, your this, your that, whatever. So I feel like people now, and especially after COVID and just getting fired on a whim, you know what I mean? And nobody having any kind of security after everything that happened, people are like, screw you. You know, like I was so replaceable then, you know.
Well, as Yanni would say, everybody is replaceable.
Everybody's replaceable.
Everybody's replaceable. But what are your options?
Yeah.
You know, that's what it comes down to. I think I just feel that just general hospitality in the service industry.
How do you think that how do you elevate hospitality today?
Oh, you watch
and train.
You observe. And at least my experience, you lead.
I think that's what it takes.
Absolutely. I mean, you go somewhere, you watch, you experience somewhere. And I think it also comes to just being well-rounded and experienced. I mean, if I'm going to go somewhere and I'm going to sit and I'm going to have a good time somewhere, I'm going to pick up on whatever I saw, whatever I experienced in that restaurant, and then I'm going to bring it back to where I work. Even just, I mean, as an attitude. If I see somebody do something nice for somebody else, yeah, absolutely, I'm going to try and do that because I saw the chain reaction that it caused.
And not everybody thinks like that, and I wish more people did, but I think you're spot on with that. And I think if more managers, leaders, owners, just everybody in charge just took a little more initiative into guidance and just general common courtesy and reactions with their employees for a better experience to any customer, guest that comes into their place. And
holding their servers
accountability as well. Yeah.
For creating that atmosphere and that level of service. I think it is big. And, you know, everybody says once you're an owner, like a lot of people just don't feel the need to be at their restaurant and they think that like, oh, okay, now I just have people run it for me. It's like, no, showing up and being there and watching over. And do you want to stay there all day long and watch over the shoulders of your people? No, but you can still create a level of hospitality again, you know, to make it consistent. Like consistency, I feel like is my number one thing. Yeah. Every time I go somewhere, I want to have not the same experience over and over, but the same level of experience.
I want to know I'm going to have a good time.
I want to know I'm going to have a good time. And it sucks when I go somewhere and the first time I go there, it sucks. And I'm like, all right, let me give it another go. And then it's great. And then I go there again and it sucks again. It's like the consistency. I love consistency.
And I think that's a good note to leave it at. I think that anybody listening, if you're a business owner or operator, just take an extra look at just general interactions with clientele and see if there's any more insight you could bring to any of the staff just to give a little above and beyond to any customer or guest that walks through the door.
Yeah. And I mean, honestly, give us your opinion on if you think that the hospitality service or industry is going down the shitter. And
I'm kind of curious. It's just my thoughts on it.
Yeah, like what is your
How do you
input?
Save it? If
How
you
do
think
you
it is?
save it?
How do you save it?
How do you save it?
Great note.
I am PD Pob.
Petrie.
Lena.
Noelle.
Thank you for joining us tonight.
Restaurant Punk.
Out.